Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to GBFC2 for the first Premier League predictions of the season. It's game week number 1 kicking off today between Brentford and Arsenal. Brentford back in the Premier League. Arsenal hoping that they can get a good result in this one because they've got City and Chelsea as their follow-up matches. I am so excited for this Premier League season. I've done my Premier League predictions over on the main channel, so if you haven't seen that, you should check it out. And yeah, I'm just absolutely buzzing. I might even get up at 3 in the morning to watch the first game just because, of course I'll watch Chelsea and Palace tomorrow, but it's the first game of the season. You never know what's going to happen. We've missed Premier League football. We've had the Euros to entertain us, Copa America, Italy and Argentina winning that one, say no more. We begin with Brentford versus Arsenal. This, with fans being back in the stadium, it's so exciting on so many levels because even though I'm not a Brentford fan, I'm excited to see the atmosphere inside that stadium. First game in the Premier League, it's Arsenal in town, it's West London versus North London, and I think this game could be an absolute cracker. I think Brentford play very good football. I think they'll be a bit exposed at the back by Arsenal, and I think there's going to be goals. I think the Premier League opening day is going to be an exciting one. However, I think Brentford are going to get a good result here. And I think Mikel Arteta, even though I think Arsenal will have a good season, I think there could be a lot of pressure on Arteta at the beginning of the season. But I'm going to say Brentford 2, Arsenal 2. I'm still not convinced by Arsenal's defence. But we move into Manchester United versus Leeds, the early kickoff on Saturday. Another cracking game. Bielsa versus Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Will we see the same kind of Bielsa that defended with all of his life and his might against Chelsea last season at 0-0 at Ellen Road? No one expected that. Or will we see another open-ended game of football where Manchester United tear them apart? I've got a feeling we might see the latter. And I think Leeds might struggle here in match week number 1. And I think United are going to get off to a good start. I think Manchester United's defence now looks so good. They will concede in this game, but I think it's going to finish Manchester United 3, Leeds United 1. As always, with the Prem predictions, let me know yours in the comments down below. Going to go through them and see if there was anyone of you that did very well, and then I'll give you a mention in next week's predictions or in the Premier League review that comes after all the games on GBFC2. We move into Leicester City versus Wolves. I think Leicester, they're going to be quite exciting because they've got Patson Daka, new striker. Kelechi Iheanacho was absolutely scintillating in the second half of last season. And I think Leicester will score a lot of goals. With Wolves, it's new manager time. People are wondering, is it going to hit the ground running, or are they going to have like a slow start, trying to build into a new style? Nuno Espirito Santo had them playing such a certain way that maybe they might struggle to get things underway. I think it could be the case in this game. I think Raul Jimenez being back is a big boost for Wolves, but I think Leicester will get a comfortable 2-0 home win in match week number 1. That leads us very nicely into Chelsea versus Crystal Palace. Now, that is the blessing of GBFC2. You guys get to hear my score predictions probably before the preview of the Chelsea game goes live. So, it is a massive one for Chelsea because Lukaku, is he going to feature? We don't know yet. The signing should be announced by the time you guys are watching this video. At the time of me recording, it hasn't been yet. Crystal Palace, Patrick Vieira. Mark Guehi against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge in his first game. Will he start? Conor Gallagher, he's on loan. He's not going to be able to feature against his parent club. Crystal Palace are that kind of team that they have the ability to just cause a shock. And if Chelsea aren't on it in match week number 1, Palace will do us over. They've got amazing fans. They're always super loud when they come to Stamford Bridge. Everyone's exciting and raring to go. But I think Chelsea will get the better of Palace in this game. I think I'm very excited for Chelsea's attack this season. I think anyone who plays, if Lukaku plays, I think he'll score on his debut. If he doesn't, then I think Werner, Havertz, whoever starts up front, is going to be trying to prove a point to keep the competition flowing in Thomas Tuchel's Chelsea side. So I think there's going to be goals, and I think Chelsea are going to convincingly beat Palace 3-0 on the opening day of the season. Palace have got a lot of new signings. Will they gel immediately? I don't know. But if Chelsea aren't on it, Palace could nick something here. But I'm going to say Chelsea 3, Crystal Palace 0. We move into Watford versus Aston Villa. Watford back in the Premier League. Aston Villa, lots of new signings. No Jack Grealish. What do we expect from Aston Villa? I think a good season is what we expect from them. Watford, they are going to need every result they can get. And in their first game of the season, they're back at Vicarage Road, fans behind them. They're going to be looking for a result here. They're going to be maybe smelling blood with Aston Villa trying to integrate and weave in new signings. And I think they'll get a result here against against Aston Villa. But I think it's going to be a draw. Watford 1, Aston Villa 1. Moving nicely into Everton versus Southampton. Everton under Rafa Benitez. I'm so excited to see the atmosphere that Rafa Benitez gets back at Goodison Park. I don't think it's going to be pretty, if I'm honest. I think Everton fans are going to be demanding immediate results. Otherwise, they are going to turn very sour against Rafa Benitez very quickly. And I think Everton this season are going to struggle. And I think this game just might be a big struggle for them. I think Southampton, no Danny Ings, but they've made a few good signings here and there. I think they'll come away from Goodison Park with a 1-1 draw, share of the spoils, leading us in to Burnley versus Brighton. Two teams who, if you've seen my Premier League predictions, I've predicted to go down this season. And I think that this game could be one of those games of the weekend where it's either the last one on Match of the Day. I don't watch Match of the Day anymore, sadly, but I always refer to it as that. Burnley-Brighton, I've got a feeling this could either be a classic, and I look like a fool, or a 0-0. And I think for the sake of it, I'm going to say 0-0, because I think the likelihood of it being a classic is quite low. It might be, you know what I mean? But 0-0, first day of the season. Norwich versus Liverpool is an interesting one that we have on Saturday evening. Norwich, Carrow Road, back in the Premier League. There's going to be an atmosphere there. Not an expectancy against Liverpool. I think Norwich are going to be calculated this season. They know that they have quality in the squad. They can do very well against some of the teams that will probably be trying to fight relegation around them. Liverpool, it's an interesting one again. I think this is a big season for Liverpool. They've not invested heavily in the squad this summer. They've got Konate coming in as a defender. Salah, Firmino, Mane, are they going to hit the ground running? I think they'll get a result here at Carrow Road, but I think it will be very, very close. And I think it will be a late winner from Mo Salah. Liverpool to win 2-1 in the opening weekend of the season. We've got two more games to go through. Newcastle versus West Ham is the first one. And I think, again, Newcastle this season, what is the response going to be at St James's Park to Steve Bruce? Is there going to be a lot of fan pressure on Mike Ashley again? Obviously, Mike Ashley's had it easy, really, with COVID, because he's not been able to be in the ground when things aren't going well under Stevie Bruce to hear the Newcastle fans discussed. So that's going to be an interesting one to keep an eye on. West Ham. No real big signings coming in at the moment. Shoestring squad, European football to worry about. They're going to need to get some early results here in the first few weeks of the season. Otherwise, they might just struggle. And I think for match week number 1, the Geordies back inside St James's Park. I think it's going to be a good game. And I think it's going to finish Newcastle 2, West Ham 2. Share of the spoils. West Ham will probably take a point from match week 1 back to East London. Now, the final game of the weekend is the first Nuno Espirito Santo Tottenham match in the Premier League. And it just so happens to be against the best team, Manchester City. Pep Guardiola, Jack Grealish has just signed. I fully expect him to start bagging in the goals for City straight away. For Tottenham, the key thing that we have to talk about here is Harry Kane. He's wanted by Manchester City. Nuno Espirito Santo, Daniel Levy, they've all made it pretty clear that Harry Kane is ready to be selected for this game. However, I don't think he's going to play. I really don't think he's going to play. He's only just coming back to training, and I think it would be a huge statement from Tottenham to start Harry Kane in this match, and then if they end up selling him, it's just proof of the turmoil and chaos that's actually going on behind closed doors with Daniel Levy. And I feel a bit sorry for Nuno Espirito Santo, not just because he's managing Spurs. Of course, I feel sorry for him for that, but because he's in a new job. You know, Spurs, still new stadium, quite inverted commas, quotation marks, whatever. But Tottenham fans expect better. And I think Harry Kane expects better. Everyone at Spurs expects more. But how can they get more when their best player wants to leave? And in terms of options coming in, Lautaro Martinez, he's linked with Spurs, but Inter Milan reluctant to sell because obviously got Lukaku. I think this could be a humbling opening weekend for Nuno. And I think City are going to go there and run riot. I think it's going to be Spurs 0, Tottenham, Spurs 0, Tottenham 4. Spurs 0, Man City 4. I think City are going to get a flying result here in match week number 1. I think they're going to capitalise on the Harry Kane situation. I don't think he's going to play. And then Harry Kane's going to be like, listen, Daniel, look what just happened. I want to win trophies. I can't even win a flipping pre-season trophy at this club. So therefore, let me go. And I think Harry Kane's going to go to City and then end up finishing second behind Chelsea. That's just the way I think it's going to be. But 4-0 to City. You guys can see right now on the screen all of the results I've predicted for match week number 1. Let me know your predictions in the comments down below. Am I crazy or do you guys agree? Leave them in the comments below so I can see, and I'll let you guys know who the best was in the review on what's it going to be. Match week number 2. It finishes Sunday night. On Monday, I'll let you guys know who the best one was and how many points I got from this week's predictions. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe if you are new. Hit the like button if you enjoyed. Catch you guys